to Street Politics with Talisha. I'm chiming in today because I want to talk about prison reform. Okay, I'm seeing that President Trump they're coming together, trying to fix prison reform, something that I don't understand why it took so long to get fixed in the first place. Like we see is a problem with sentencing guidelines. We see the overcrowding in prisons. You know what I'm saying? Like you have people in there doing 2 years for violating their probation for not going to a class or maybe a dirty urine. You know what I'm saying? Low level, non-violent, low level crimes. You know what I'm saying? Like receiving stolen property. My first time I went to prison was because I had got caught stealing in the mall. Now I was 6 months pregnant. What did I say? Yeah, I was 6 months pregnant. And you know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to take away your subject. You know what I'm saying? These my property where I was at a mall and I was stealing some clothes and I got caught stealing. So I went to court or whatever. They gave me 6 months in prison. Now this is my first. They gave me 6 months in prison. Now I'm pregnant. Due to, as a matter of fact, wait a minute, hold on. I'm trying to make sure I get this story right about. I was, yeah, I was no, I was about 7 or 8 months pregnant because when I went, I thought I was going, and this is another thing I'm gonna get to. Okay, yeah, I was 7 months pregnant when I got sentenced to 6 months in Ohio Reformatory for women for receiving stolen property theft. I was stealing out the mall, and they had gave me 6 months or whatever. So I'm thinking like, wow, you know what I'm saying, like low level crime, whatever. You know what I'm saying? I had to. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I got caught. I did something wrong, but I'm getting sent to prison while I'm 7 months pregnant. I already have another child. I'm pregnant with my second child. So I get to prison. Now by me being this is my first prison number. Usually with low crime, low felonies or whatever, if you in prison, they will give you this thing in Ohio called a judicial release, or early release, where by me having a felony 5, after I've been on a compound at Marysville prison for 30 days, after 30 days, I can file to get out early. So I'm thinking, I'm cool. This is my first time going to prison or whatever. And plus I'm pregnant. I go to apply for a judicial release and I'm denied. I'm denied. This is my first time in prison. I'm pregnant. Like, they acted like I killed somebody. Now, I'm not saying that I'm trying to take away from what I did. No, I'm not saying that. But I'm just saying this is my first time going to prison. I never been out. You know what I'm saying? This is my first go round with the prison system. And they denied me. But thank God, God has always been good to me, even when I'm doing things wrong. Marysville, Ohio, that's the name of the prison in Ohio where you go to for women. Ohio Reformatory for Women. They had a baby program where I was able to keep my son there. So, and we separated off from the compound. It's like our own little cottage. It was set up like a college dorm. It was very, very nice. The kids don't have numbers. Don't listen to all. I don't know what they do in other states, but I know here in Ohio, all that them lies people say they don't have numbers. My son was never shackled or none of that. But I was shackled when I had birth. But the first couple of hours I was shackled, I would take that back because I came across a good sheriff that felt sorry for me, like, where she's not going anywhere, and he did. release the thing off my leg because I'm like, I'm already in pain. It's uncomfortable and I got to do this by myself. You know what I'm saying? They don't let people come and in with you while you in there or whatever. They let your family be outside the door, but they actually can't come in there while you giving birth. So the security guard I did have, he did unshackle me, but people get shackled while they having a baby, and I did get shackled while having mask. But to get back to what I was saying, here I am, my first time going to prison for 6 months for stealing, and they wouldn't even let me out early. Such a waste of time of the taxpayers' tax dollars. Now this is my thing. When people commit crimes, if I was to ever be a judge, which I think I can because I don't see me sending nobody to jail. Now, if you killed somebody, killed a child, pedophile, yeah, I'm gonna say. But I just don't want to be a part of that. I can't do that. But if I was a judge, I would want to get into the person's background to see why what happened. Nobody asked me why I did what I did. You know what I'm saying? I made situations in my life worse than what they was, but no one cared to even ask me why I was stealing. They just looked at me, oh my God, you stealing these people's stuff. She need to be taken away, and just all this whatever. So I'm glad that President Trump is really taking it serious, that he really want to get something done with prison reform. Now it passed in the House, but you had people like Maxine Waters, Congressman Lewis, and all these black leaders that claim they for black people voted no on the bill. They hate Donald Trump that much that they rather see their people in jail. You have to be very, very cautious and careful of people like people like them. See, they in it for the greed. So now you have it going to the Senate. Now, Mitch McConnell has to put the bills on the floor. Well, I guess after some people did some back, why he won't put it on the floor. He gets big donation from private prison companies. So of course he not gonna put this on the floor, act like he want to advocate it for. You have I forgot the other one of these other a few of them senators is getting paid, getting donations from private prisons. So of course they don't want to see this act go because it's going to hurt their money. Because you know, private prisons, they have to keep a certain amount of people in a jails. They would get ridiculous. Have you ever heard something like I never even thought that would even be possible in America, that private prisons are allowed to set standards that if they don't, they get. So if they getting fined, who is fining them? Who is fining these prisons if they don't have enough people in there occupying them? Because every time I went to prison, it was overflow. They barely had, when we went in admissions is something you go through before you go out in population to be with everybody else. You go in admissions, and admissions, this is where you get classified, and classified mean what group you're going to be in. You have different levels in prison to where, you know, if you murder somebody, you probably be a different kind of shirt from a low level to fence. It's like 3 different levels in prison or whatever. So you have to get classified, medically cleared, and all this before you even go out into the population. Every time I went to prison, I went there 3 times, it was no room for nobody. You stayed in admissions for about, admissions usually take 30 days for you to get medically cleared and everything that you have to do to get before you go to population. Now, it normally takes 30 days, but by the prisons being so overcrowded, we was sometimes stuck in there for almost 90 days. 90 days in admissions is ridiculous because they had no room to move us out in the compound, and every week is bus loads coming from different counties. In Ohio, you have to go to, for women, you have to go through Marysville, Ohio Reformatory for Women, before you go to the other prisons, which we don't have that many women's prisons in Ohio. It's only 3. But that's the overflow. People sleeping on beds. They used to bring out cots, like these cot things, and they'll be sleeping on them because it was no room, and then you stuck in admissions for almost 90 days because it's no room on the compound. So they waiting to people get parole, people moving to other prisons, all this bull crap. But see, you have people that's getting paid for you to sit there. And I think that's what Congress need to be doing. But see, they ain't gonna do that because a lot of people money, donations will be cut off. They'll run completely dry. Because I don't know how in the hell that they are allowing private prisons to be ran like that, and where they have to have people in a prison system. And they get fined if they don't have a certain amount, if they don't meet their quota. So if they, this is another thing. If they don't meet their quota, so who do they call to meet their quota? Hey, I need some more people in jail. So are they calling these judges? Are they talking to police on the street? Like, I'm confused on how that go. Like, who do you call to meet your quota to make sure you have enough people locked up? Like, all that should be illegal. Like, that shouldn't even be happening. I don't even know how that is even possible. But to get back to what I was saying, you had these senators that's getting paid from these private prisons. Now Mitch McConnell don't want to put it on the floor. How you don't want to put this on the floor? This should be a win before 2019 in with Donald Trump on something that's a major legislation. Now you having different people complaining about different things. It's not enough. It's not this. Can you read? If you can read clearly, you can read. It says first step. Do you know what first step is? When you take your first step. And there's going to be plenty more other steps. This is just to get the ball rolling, which the ball need to be rolling. But people in their greed for money is putting this to the side. Now, you have people that's advocating for prison reform. Now, I'm not going to say all of them, but I'm going to say majority of them. They're advocating for prison reform because they feel this, they feel that. But none of them, I wouldn't say all of them. I'm just speaking on some. Do not have people like me that's been to prison. I know how it is to be to prison. I know how it is to leave my kids in the care of somebody else while I'm in prison. I know how it is to be in prison and you can't even sign up for school. Well, I had a high school diploma, but you couldn't even sign up for college because everything was too bagged up or they didn't have enough teachers. You know what I'm saying? I know how this stuff is. How are you advocating for prison and you have nobody in your team that has actually been to prison? All you know about prison is what you read and heard on TV. You don't actually have nobody that physically been to prison. But see, I'm going to tell you something, but I have learned about politics and I just got in this game and haven't even been a whole year since I started. Yes, it has, because when Donald Trump got in office, that's when I got interested in politics. So I say back in 2016. But 2017, for real, that's when I started, street politics, really talking about politics. One thing I learned about politics and people that's in politics, it's just like people in the streets. Everybody want to be on top. Everybody want to be the man. Don't nobody want to be the worker. Everybody want to be the boss. If they can get this done, and it could go through them, they'll get their hats tipped off. You know what I'm saying? They'll get the glow. They'll get the glory. So is you really advocating for prison reform, or you just advocating because you know this is the latest hot thing that's going on in the political world, so you can score some political points? You know what I'm saying? Just like Donald Trump and the Trump train, you have a lot of people that's saying they conservatives and Republicans, but they really not. They just jumping on the Trump train because that's the hottest thing that's going on in the political world, whether people like it or not. You know what I'm saying? So you got all these people, oh, I'm conservative, oh, Democrat this. You know what I'm saying? So you got to be very careful and pay attention, because a lot of people is just using pimping this. Prison reform is the new pimp thing now. You know what I'm saying? See, the thing about being a Republican and conservative, that's running dry. That's running dry. It's going old news. You have a lot of the same talking points, and I'm going to do another video about that too. You know what I'm saying? So that's running dry. So let's get on something that's new. So now it's prison reform. But how you working on prison reform with nobody that's in prison? That's like me campaigning and starting something for sexual assault victims, but nobody that's in my inner circle has actually been a victim of sexual assault. But I'm out here advocating as if I know. You know what I'm saying? Just like when people say when somebody die or somebody child die, you would tell them, I don't know how you feel because I never lost a child. You know what I'm saying? That's the same thing with prison. You don't know how prison is. You never been there. You don't have nobody there telling you how it really is. You don't have people that's in your team that was repeat offenders. I was a repeat offender. I'm 37 years old. I called my first felony when I was 18. And it ended, how long had it been? It's been almost 4 or 5 years since I stopped my street life. You know what I'm saying? So I've been doing this for years. I've been in and out the prison system for years. I got 3 prison numbers. I went to jail, did county bids 3 times all over Ohio and Pennsylvania. I have had cases for stealing. You know what I'm saying? So I know how it is to get caught up in the system, but I also know how it is to do the things that I did. You know what I'm saying? Because one thing I did learn, and then I watched a show from somebody on YouTube, Patricia, and I'll put the link in the description later. She had a good point. She was talking about first aid, and I never in life looked at it this way. Okay, Meek Mills was on TV. Now let me tell you something about Meek Mills. How the hell you on CNN protesting about prison reform? What the hell CNN can do? You didn't even want to be put in the presence of somebody that can change it. You didn't even want to talk to Donald Trump. He is the person that can change this. Congress people are the people that can change this, but you sitting on CNN. So I watched this interview and they was asking him, Mitch McConnell, I don't know how to pronounce his name, but he made a valid point to Meek Mills. Okay, people are saying you are not a good advocate for prison reform, which I debunk that because I don't think it is, but it's too sad so that I say yes and no, he isn't. So one thing I'm getting back to with what Patricia said, you have to take some responsibility for yourself. Meek Mills blamed everybody for what he did except for him. He wasn't wrong for wheeling on a regular street where you're not supposed to be wheeling on that street. He wasn't. Now thing about him and when the police beat him with the police brutality, I'm not disputing that. I don't know the facts of that case, so I can't say anything about that part. But you have to take in some responsibility. So she made a good point. Like, you know, everybody wanted to blame the government and the white man for how it's poverty in the hoods. Okay, and the point that she made was, okay, so what if the government and the white man come bring 200 bricks of heroin and set it in your community? You have a choice. You have a choice to either say, hey, I'm not messing around with that. I'm not doing none of that. I'm not going to ruin my life. I'm not going to ruin the life of somebody else. I'm not going to feed this to my people. I'm not going to get this to my sister and brother so they can be drug addicts. Or you got a choice of, let me get this money and do what it is. Then if I get caught, I'm going to say I'm a product of my environment. Look. And that really opened up my eyes. And thank you, Patricia, for saying that. I had a choice. Even though I had the roughest childhood growing up, I still had a choice. I didn't have to go stealing. I didn't have to do that. I could have turned what I went through into something that could have been way better for me. So now I got to look at, like, I never blame the system. I kind of probably halfway did. But I never fully put the responsibility off on somebody else for me stealing. Now I did say this is why I did what I did. But now looking back, and then Patricia giving a good point, I had an option. I could have, when I got done being in and out of foster homes, I could have fueled that pain into starting a nonprofit right then and there, helping others that was just like me. But no, I decided to do illegal things. That's like a person on drugs. Instead of trying to get into the root of the problem, they hitting the pipe. They drinking alcohol. And then you want to blame everybody else for you being an alcoholic. No, you should have got some help. And that's what I should have did. So the first step, us people, with me, ex-felons, people that used to be in the streets, we got to stop blaming. We got to stop blaming everybody else. We chose to make those mistakes that we made. It is nobody's fault but ours. Did nobody take my hand and place it on the rack with them clothes and put those merchandise in my bag? Nobody did that with me. I created a monster. But see, here's the thing is, we all make mistakes in life, and that's one thing about the grace of God. Like, we all make mistakes, and as long as you have breath in you, you can fix it. So we got to take responsibility. So that's what I didn't like with Meek Mills. He blamed everybody for him getting in trouble. Not what you getting. You said you got beat by the police. I don't know that story, so I can't really speak on that. But you willing in the street, you violating your probation. That had nothing to do with nobody. You did that, Meek Mills. Didn't nobody violate your probation but you. Why you on probation for the length of probation? Now that's an issue that you can talk on, but don't make it seem like it was like the system did you wrong when you got in trouble. Now the wrong part of the system is, how long was you on probation? Why are you on probation for that many years? I'll give you an example. My stepfather, he was in and out of prison. His first time getting on parole was in '89. I kid you not when I say this out my mouth. Remind you, I said he got released from prison. He was on parole in '89. Do you know he just not getting off probation with parole about a year ago? How in the hell is you still on parole from '89? Now, he did violate for different stuff for going back, but how is it possible that somebody's on parole since '89? This is 2019. If y'all think I'm lying, y'all can look it up. I promise you I'm not lying. Now, these are the things that we should look at in the system. Okay, he was wrong for violating his probation, but how long is somebody supposed to be on papers? I know somebody that had a receiving stolen property case. Judge Kathleen Statula here in Ohio gave her 5 years probation. Who in the hell need 5 years probation for stealing? 5 years? And one thing about her, if you violate anything, she's sending you to prison. She don't care what it is. But these are the things we need to look at, the guidelines, the sentencing guidelines, the length of probation, how long you should be on probation. If you get caught stealing, find out why are they stealing. Are you stealing because of a drug addict? Because you're a drug addict? Let's get this person some help. Are you stealing because of this? Let's find out what these issues are before you start just throwing the book at people. Because I'm going to tell you something, when I went to prison, all I did was got worse. All you do is go down there and meet more people that's cons, and you figure out somebody, you meet other cons, and you link up with them, and they link you to some more stuff out in the streets. That's all it is. Prison ain't nothing. I'm in Ohio, and I've been there. When I went to prison, it didn't scare me not one bit. Evidently, then I got 3 numbers. So prison ain't like the boogeyman place where somebody gonna go there and no. You go there and get worse, especially if you hook up with some other cons. You go in there, you meet fraud people that do credit cards. You meet people that do all kind of illegal stuff, and you meet them out on the street. Then you end up back in there again. But see, this is the system. But a lot of this stuff need to be looked at. Like the one lady that President Trump let out. Her first time catching a drug case, she get life. Now, I know some people, when the feds, the same thing the feds is doing to Donald Trump, they do it in the black community all the time. They do it, I'm from the projects, they do it all the time. Let me tell you something. I'm going to give you an example. They wanted one person on 30th where I grew up at in the projects. His name was Muhammad Dai. You can look him up. They wanted him. They couldn't get nothing on him. They never caught him with no drugs. They never caught him with no drugs or anything. But they knew that he was selling drugs, but they never caught him, physically caught him with no drugs or anything. So they started putting an informant in to come on 30th in the projects where we grew up at, to try to link up with Red. We call him Red, but his government name is Muhammad Dai. To try to link up with Red to try to get a, you know what I'm saying, get a case on him or whatever. So they went and got, when I remind you, these boys ain't about sold nothing. If they did, they probably sold a nickel bag of weed. They went and got the lowest people on 30th to say all kind of accusations against him, to the high ranking, all the way to they boom hit him with conspiracy to commit, conspiracy to sell drugs. They said he conspired with all these. They rounded up about 30 or 40 of them. Gave these people from ranging, the lowest out of the lowest, I think, was 5 years. Starting off from 5, and they gave Red 26 years because he went to trial. Because how you gonna convict me off of just what somebody else saying? You got to understand this. When you, a lot of people don't know about how it is when you catch a case, especially a drug case. If you catch a drug case, the first thing that the detectives and everybody want to know, who sold you this dope. If you tell us who sold you this dope, we'll let you go. So I can say anybody name. I can say somebody I can't stand name sold me this dope just for me to get out of trouble. Now I might think or know that they sell some dope, but long as I say that, I can get them in trouble. And prosecutors prosecute people off people that want to get out of trouble. Michael Cohen, that's trying to get out of trouble for things he did that's unrelated to the Russian collusion that y'all been spending millions of dollars on. So when you don't want to go to jail, you a lie. You will go get everybody else in trouble to get up, because you don't want to do no time. So you trying to get yourself out of trouble, and in the mean of you getting out of trouble, you sending everybody else around you to jail. What sense on earth does that make? But prosecutors get to do this every time. And then you have, I seen Sunny Halston is on The View. She's a former prosecutor. She said this proudly on The View to the millions of followers that watch The View on TV. We get the lower level ones and we work it up to the top to get to the main one, because this is how America is. If I can't get you on what I want you on, I'm gonna go find some other people and work myself up to you. And this is what they doing to Donald Trump. A rocket scientist can see this. They don't have a Russian collusion on Donald Trump, because everybody that has got in trouble, from Michael Flynn, from Manafort and all them, even Cohen, they got in trouble for stuff that they did that ain't had nothing to do with Donald Trump. That ain't had nothing to do with Russian collusion. That don't have absolutely nothing to do with what the scope of the range that Mueller was supposed to go for. So they should have had some limits on there. You are to only go looking for Russian collusion, not digging up. This investigation has been all over the place. No one yet has been arrested or charged, not arrested yet. No one has been charged with Russian collusion. Look at everybody charges. It has nothing to do with them colluding with Russia to help Donald Trump win an election. None of that. Manafort was doing dealings with all kind of people. That ain't got nothing to do with Trump. Michael, I don't even understand what Flynn even just pled guilty for lying and all this other stuff. None of this stuff have nothing to do with that. So you have to pay attention. But this is what they do. And for Sonny to sit on TV as a Puerto Rican, as a black, and you advocate for people, you sat on TV and said what the black community say all the time. Y'all go around and get anybody to tell anything. Y'all don't care if it's the truth or not, just to get the person you want. Now they couldn't get nothing on Red. Nothing. No, even when the informant was coming around trying to buy drugs from him, all this is that. Nothing. And this informant got caught with a drug case, and they told him, if you work for us, we'll lower your time. See, this is another thing they do. They go get these informers. They had them work for them, but they don't get them no type of protection, security protection, or nothing, because a lot of people in the streets, people like him, I mean, this is just that's what's going. He'll get hurt. His family will get hurt for going in purposely ruining anybody's life. Now, I tell anybody like this: if I go to sell some drugs and I get caught, you ain't gonna. I don't got nothing for you. I committed this crime. I did this here. I'm not trying to go get everybody else to go to jail with me because I got caught. That don't even, no, it doesn't. You don't do nothing like that. I got up and committed this crime. Then nobody forced me to commit this crime but me. See, and then for them just to say this, like the whole, Donald Trump need to dismantle the whole justice system from the AG all the way down to the arresting police officers. All this stuff, it's a lot of stuff that needs to happen, because a lot of people's lives are getting ruined because people want somebody else. And I just think that's a waste. Now, we wasted all these tax dollars for all these people to get arrested, and it has nothing to do with Russian collusion. But y'all want somebody. Now Michael Cohen, now he's automatically saying that they did like all that. He just saying anything to get out of trouble, and anybody can see that clear as day. And I say all that to say we have all these people working on prison reform, First Step Act. Are y'all really trying to help get this through, or are you just trying to be the light of anything? You know what I'm saying? And I'm starting to learn a lot of stuff like this. We so quick to grab a camera to show something. Now, I ain't trying to down talk nobody or say anybody movement is whatever, but when I do certain things, everything ain't for the camera right then and there. If I went to go talk to those senators at Capitol Hill, I don't need the camera right now. I ain't trying to show this right now. I'm trying to come to you with a real genuine heart for people that's locked up, because I was once like that. Social media don't need to see all that right now. Everybody want to call everybody else a grandstand, say they grandstanding when you grandstanding right with them. Put the cameras down. Really work on these issues. Really fight for these. It's a lot of people that's fighting for prison reform that ain't even on social media, that won't even post and say 2 words, because they don't care about getting the glory and the fame for that, because genuinely down in their heart, this is the thing they want to do. Like when I went to the White House, I didn't really get backlash from where I'm from in my community about me going to the White House. I'm from the hood. We don't care nothing about none of that type of stuff. I didn't get outed. My family didn't disown me. I didn't lose friends or nothing like that. But I told everybody, like, when I wanted the White House, I wanted to get in the presence of Jared Kushner. That was my main focus. You know, when we got invited to the White House, yeah, I wanted to see President Trump, but I wanted to talk to Jared Kushner, because I know he's really working hard on prison reform. And if I know I can get to talk to him, and if he hear me out, I can help make a difference and help get this through. See, that was my main thing. But you have everybody just want to be for sure. And I don't really think a lot of these people really genuinely care for prison reform, because you got one moment in their mouth they saying prison reform, then you get 1 minute in their mouth they telling you to lock somebody up. So it's just like, what do you really want to do? And why you don't have nobody on your team that's been to prison, know how it is, and you know what I'm saying, so you can get some type of look into what's going on. I know everybody want to have their hats on and showing and come on media, follow me while I go in here and talk to them, because I'm the advocate, I'm the savior for the day. That ain't how life be. That's not how life gonna work, and I just don't understand that. You know what I'm saying? And I done reached out to everybody that's claiming they're for prison reform, emailed them, told them that I was in prison and this is that. No one has yet to get back with me, but I would say this, a lot of people, they especially if they on top, like high celebrities, high profile people, I know they probably flooded with stuff, but I have got in my mind that I have to do the footwork for my own self. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna have to go to DC. I'm gonna have to see how I can go to the Capitol and talk to the Congress people on my own. I don't want no camera. I don't want no high profile people with me. When they see me coming, they got to put on this act or none of that. I'm coming from the goodness of my heart. I'm coming for the people that get lost and pushed behind in prison. You know what I'm saying? So that's my thing with the First Step Act. Like, I don't know if y'all people really care about this for real, for real. I really do genuinely. I have a nonprofit organization. You can look it up, Healing Hearts Foundation. I'll give you my link to that below too. I've been doing this for years, way before Donald Trump decided he wanted to run for president. So this has something that I have been doing because that's something that I was part of, and I wanted to share my journey to help somebody else. So I'm not doing this for the camera, the lights, the action, or to stand here when, oh, we just came out of here for talking to this person, this person. No, I'm gonna go knock on each person thing that, you know, get to talking to them, because I genuinely want to help get this through it and make whatever y'all don't like in this bill that came from the House, make it better. And that's just my thing. I just think it's a lot of grandstanding with this First Step Act, and it is what it is. I didn't come on here to be politically correct or to sugarcoat anything. I see things. I see things way before people say it. You know what I'm saying? Y'all hear me saying it now as of today. Watch how all this gonna unravel. How all this is gonna come out. You have to pay very close attention to everybody that want the spotlight. A lot of people want the spotlight for First Step Act, but they really don't care about First Step Act. And that's my thing to you today. Thank you all for letting me rant with you. And I'll list some of the stuff below. And I have a Patreon account. If you like the things that I'm saying, you can contribute to me so I can help this journey, because I do want to go. I'm having a city-to-city tour. Well, I want to go around. I'm kind of switching it. The more I pray about it, the more things coming along. You know what I'm saying? I thought I wanted it one way, but now I'm sitting another way. But that's why you just got to keep yourself in the presence of the Lord, because anything can change. And, you know, I have a bad habit of starting stuff without even going to God first. So my thing is, I really want to go around 2016 debunking the news. I mean, 2019 debunking the news, because, you know, a lot of stuff going to be coming out, a lot of misinformation is going to be coming out, and a lot of people going to be misinformed because these elections is coming up. So it's about to get very, very ugly. And I want to go around and make it fun and let you see how you can pick and really find out what's really going on and what's really the truth. And that's my thing. And that's my thing on First Step Act. So if y'all can share this, get us to Jared Kushner, people, Donald Trump, share this to him. You know what I'm saying? Let him see, like, I'm really here for it. And that's my thing. But I'm gonna get there, because God knows my heart. You know what I'm saying? He know I'm not in it for the money. I'm not in it for the fame. I'm really in it to stop recidivism. You know what I'm saying? I'm tired of the cycle, breaking people up out of the cycles. You know, make prisons go out of business. That's what I want to work on. I know that's going to be a hard thing to do, but if we can do it, if we build up the structures of the homes and everything like that. So that's my thing. So if y'all like and share, thank you all for tuning in with me. I will be back later on, probably after the Bush funeral, because I know everybody probably on TV watching that. Because I also want to talk about this thing with that Russian collusion. I want to hit more stuff on that. So thank you all for chiming in with me, and you all have a blessed day.